What's going on today, guys? It's Sabri back with another episode of Halfway There podcast. I am joined today with Toronto food savant, burger, you name it, they have it. Desie Burger's owner himself. So how are you?
You're the man, bro. You're the man.
How are you?
Good, great.
How's your day going, man?
It's great. Everything's going great.
I want to get into certain things. You know, like the reason why I reached out to you and the Desie Burger family is because you guys have built like a pretty decent brand. And what I like to do is I like to go to different business owners and talk to them about their origin, not necessarily like the business. The business is obviously like a plus to like what I do here, but like I truly just want to get into like the mindset and of the origins of who you are and how you came to be, and whether it's that's family, whether it's that like your mindset, whether it's like trials and tribulations, and I just kind of want to get down into like the thick of that, right? Yeah. So I just want to know, who are you? You know, who Sonu
is, what's going on?
Who's Sonu? What's going on? You know, like I want to know, like, tell me a little bit about yourself.
You know, me, like I was growing up, I always like had a love for business since I was a kid, since I was like 8 years old. I'll show you a photo anyways after, but like we were just like, since I was 8 years old, I've been like at the shop, learning from my parents, especially my dad's been training me since I was 8 years old, since I was been a kid. Mm-hmm. And since then, I fell in love with the business. That's what, you know, the one thing that why I attribute a lot of my success to is the love that I have for the business. When I was a kid, I fell in love with it. And for that reason, I kept on working hard, coming to the shop, learning from my dad, teaching me more and more, just to improve myself. From there, that really just made me the person I am today. And you know, like I went to school, I did marketing in school, things like that. But that wasn't my passion, and I knew I didn't love that. I love business, and I'm going to continue doing business. I'm going to continue expanding the store.
When you were younger, besides like business, besides school, what were things that you like to do? Like, what was things that you were enjoying as a kid, as a youth?
So one thing I'd say to my parents really were like really wanting us to become successful. I knew it from day one. Like my mom, dad, you know, they put us in Kumon or like also tutoring classes, other places, and on top of that, they put us in martial arts. Like I did MMA, I did karate, you know, things like that. Just like build our confidence, build us up to be, you know what I mean? And those type of things, like that's why I like UFC and boxing and things like that, because I've been doing that, you know, doing the MMA and doing the karate since I was a kid, and learning all those things. So that's one of my like hobbies on the side. I always like get excited. I haven't been much of a sports guy because that's not what I've done. I haven't really like practiced those sports and really engaged to it, you know what I mean? But MMA has been a big thing.
Do you feel like doing those sports, having your parents be like extremely, I guess, structured, help you within like the business realm of how you move and how you act? I guess like the word discipline.
Discipline, yeah, there was discipline. I feel like me going to one place or another, karate teaches you a lot of discipline. It teaches you, hey, you gotta be here. You know, our senseis wanted us to be on time. You know, our senseis also wanted us to, you know what I mean? You know, work accordingly with all this other, you know what I mean, classmates. You know, you gotta behave in the class. You gotta know how to operate there. You know what I mean? Those type of things where they teach you like you gotta be punctual. You gotta work hard. You gotta win. Always since I was a kid, it's always been you gotta win it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's been the thing. You gotta be a winner. Second place is not an option, and it's always been first place for us. And that built a lot of confidence in me. Like I walk on the street, I'm in the store, I'm confident. I'm not fighting someone, but I'm confident in my ability because I know I'm like, hey man, I'm a martial artist. You know what I mean? I know that I can, I know what I'm capable of. Right? That also attributes a lot of confidence to me when I'm doing work. Like, hey, you're a martial artist. Yeah, you've done a lot of, you know what I mean, schooling. You've done a lot of schooling. Learned a lot. When I was in the grade 9, 10, I was doing Kumon. I was doing university level math. You know, things like that. Think about that. I was doing like first year, second year university math in Kumon when I was in grade 10. Even though I wasn't a school fan. But those type of things were like, got in my mind, like you're ahead of the game.
Challenging yourself.
Kids are messing around in the park and playing around, doing here, there, while I'm hustling and working hard, coming to the store, you know what I mean, going to tutoring, doing martial arts, you know what I mean, not wasting time. me doing that just structured me to be like, yo, we got to be successful, and you know what I mean. And results kept on coming in.
Being that structured as a kid, how has it affected your mindset in the business realm? Because you, like we talked about before, you do a lot of ventures.
Yeah, we do a lot of like real estate ventures on the side. Like real estate's our side hustle, you know, because there's that stuff you can make over time, and this is our daily type of thing. Mm-hmm. But what it's taught me is that you gotta lead an example to your staff. Me having a shop is not one thing, but also me being a shop owner, I have to be an example to staff. I have to show them how to work. I have to show them how to operate the store. I have to show them how to deal with customers. Lead an example, because that's how my parents work. That's how all the other people in my life, they led an example in order for us to be successful. So that kind of told me like, hey, don't be a lazy guy. Don't sit around. You know, I know a lot of shop owners that like, you know, I get it. They don't have to work. They don't have to. But I'm not that type of guy. I want to be hands-on. I want to be in the shop, watching what's going on, each and every little detail, what's going on, where the stuff's coming from, who's making what. You know what I mean? I have a hawk eye on everyone.
Do you feel like Desie Burger is more than just a brand? It's more so like it started off as a place to come eat. It started off as they slowly tried to trickle down into like community.
Yeah,
it's
become a community. Like the people that come here, I know them so long since I was a kid. They were like, you didn't even have a beard when I knew you. You were a little kid. It's becoming like a family. The guys that come here are literally our family, and we respect them that much. So it's become more than like the brand is just really expanded.
Did your parents envision this for you guys?
I don't think so. They ever envisioned it to get this big. They never envisioned it to get that popular. Like me, I go on the street, people recognize me. Hey, you're the guy from Desie Burger. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. But when I was a kid, that was not the case. Like people didn't recognize me like that. But now I go anywhere, people recognize me.
Yeah. Do you feel like your parents' upbringing? Let's get back to this. Your parents came here when before you guys were born, right? So you're first generation Canadian.
Yeah, we're first generation.
How is that like? Because I'm a first generation Canadian too. Like my parents always had like the grind mentality. You know,
like like my dad would like told me as a kid, like I didn't travel 7 seas here to waste time. Travel 7 seas to come here to Canada, and he's like, bro, I'm not here to lose. And like I seen them, especially I see my dad and my mom hustling as a kid. I see them taking breaks, not going nowhere, not having fun, not going out with, you know how people go out with their friends, do this and that. No, they wouldn't do that. They'd be hustling. My dad would be like dropping us off to karate, going to the shop, going to the next thing, going to our properties, the real estate stuff that's coming on, trying to expand that, doing renovation, things going on. Like tenants are leaving, he's renovating the place, renovating the house, doing things, getting, just really working. And when I see them hustling like that literally didn't have to force me to hustle. It's just I wanted to hustle. I see how hard they're working. I understood, I also want to make them proud as well, right? Me as a kid, I always want to make my parents proud. And especially when I start seeing the store getting more and more busy, the business getting expanding, and seeing the proud look in my mom and dad's eyes, especially I see my dad being happy, wow, we've done great. And I'm like, I want to do more things to make them happy. Because I understand that this was their dream to come to Canada and do all this stuff, Mm-hmm. It's difficult coming to a new country, doing you know what I mean?
Growing up, knowing that your parents had that, I guess the chip on their shoulder, right? They had that chip on their shoulder. Did you always want to was it always ingrained in you, or was it something that you had to adapt to want to be successful? Because obviously, we have certain inclinations as we're kids. I want to aspire to be a basketball player. I want to aspire to be a lawyer. I want to aspire to this. What was that turning factor, or was it just something that was ingrained in you since you were a child?
I think it was ingrained in me. When I was very young, first I didn't really understand what was going on. I just thought this is life. For me, this is life. This is normal. For some people, I was in a crib in a store. My mom was like, I'd be in the store all the time. I'd go hang out with my grandma. This is my life. The shop is my life. For me, it was normal. But you know how there's a festival of South Asia? I'll show you a photo of that. There's a festival of South Asia where we put stalls outside and things like that. When I was a kid, I was 7, 8 years old. We had a festival, and I go outside and we start putting the festival. And the second I went to that festival, I fell in love with the store. I fell in love with this stuff. I remember just being like that moment, like, this is what I want to do for my life. And I knew it since I was a kid. I was like, I want to do this shop. Maybe people doubted me. They thought, some people would say, not a good idea, man. I don't think so. But I knew in my heart, you know what I mean? Like in our language, we say in our language, you know, like if you're a passenger of two ships, you'll never reach your destination. That's in our language what we say. This is the destination I have. I knew my destination from the beginning. You know how some people say, yo, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be an engineer, I want to do, no. You know what you want to be. Things will change, but you also got to know exactly in your heart. You can't be like every 2 minutes changing your destiny. It's one thing and you got to stick with it. Stick with it and run to the moon.
From the end goal, do you feel like success is acquired by like constantly just like showing up to like everything that you say you're gonna do?
Consistency is a main thing I've shown. Me, I show up every day, 7 days a week. Bro, I don't feel well. Like let's say I'm tired, I still show up. Let's say like this past couple weeks, like example. Me, like, you know, I've been working a lot. I've been doing a lot of stuff, and you know, I've been feeling kind of sore. My body's been feeling a little sore, which is okay. My foot was feeling a little sore because I've been like working overtime, and we've been doing renovation in the store, so I've been trying to help the renovation guys. You know what I mean? After like a 13-hour shift, you're lifting heavy weights. It kind of gets on your body a little bit too, right? But like even like my foot's sore, but I still go. I don't complain. You know, I see a lot of guys. You know, some people even work here. They're like, they get a little thing. They feel a little tired. Like, oh, I can't come to work. I get it, because they don't have the determination, drive in them. But me, I'm like, doesn't matter what, I'm gonna show up here. But the fact that I'm consistent every day coming here is what making this run. You know, if I decide today, I've seen a lot of business owners. Oh, I'm not coming today. I'm not coming tomorrow. No, you have to come every day. Doesn't matter. Even if, let's say it's a snowstorm, it's a blizzard going out. People, like a lot of store owners I know, they're like, oh, we're not coming today, it's a blizzard. I said, I don't care, a blizzard or what. I'm showing up. Because I made a commitment to the people that come here. I made a commitment to myself. Like, I'm more strict on myself than anyone else. Because I understand if I'm not strict on myself, things are not going to go well.
The most recent podcast I put out, there's Raiden. I'm rocking his gear.
Yeah, awesome.
All ships rise in high tides. Do you understand what I'm
saying?
saying? All ships rise in high tides. It's like when everything's going aflow, when everything's going right, everyone's feeling good. But it's like at the worst times, who's gonna be willing to help keep the ship afloat?
Exactly.
Who's gonna if the person that's like leading it, the leader, is not gonna be the one that does it, everything's gonna crumble, and you're the leader, right?
Exactly. I'm the leader. So that's why I always put on you got to be a mask on, like ready. Even like, you know, I don't feel it. People don't realize. Some days like you're tired, they won't even know I'm tired. But other guys I know, they come in, or staff, they come. I know I'm like, hey bud, you're tired today, but they won't know I'm tired because I can't show that. I can't show my weakness that I'm tired. It's like a weakness. You got to be show that you're ready to go, and I'm always ready. But also I would say, you know, he said something right. All ship rise at high tides, but some people, when they go to the high tides, they're not able to handle it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of people make errors in business, you know, mismanagement errors and things like that. Or sometimes when things go hard, people quit. When times go hard, that's a time you gotta fight. I remember a time back in the day, like 6-7 years ago, or like when we were kids, you know, we're doing real estate work, so you know it requires a lot of capital. We're investing in real estate and we're renovating, and sometimes, you know, budgets get tight. I remember thinking like, oh shit, you know, budgets are getting tight. I'm working at the shop every day, and I understand that we're investing in our future. That's why budgets are getting tight, cash is getting tight. But that was a time when I was like, yo, I gotta work hard right now, and I gotta hustle and bring that money in. I can't be, oh, I get it. Oh, we have a credit card bill. Oh, we have this, we have that. That doesn't mean that I gotta cry now. That means that I gotta hustle and make that money. I'm not gonna blame anyone else.
When I look back at my life, obviously, like, you're doing something completely different than I am, right? I was like we're both doing like
similar stuff, yeah.
Servicing. Like I was doing like servicing in the personal training realm. You're doing servicing in like the restaurant and you like real estate.
Yeah, 100%.
But the one thing I do like notice with similarities, when you're trying to like run a business and when you're trying to I guess, go about like doing things the right way, the amount of obstacles that people don't see behind the scenes, and then like whether it's like challenges within the business, whether it's like interpersonal stuff, or whether it's like operations,
yes.
right? People don't understand that there's so much that goes within it, and as someone that's running the ship or someone that's leading the ship, I have to be on point 110% of the time. And if that's not the case, then the ship is gonna sink. Exactly. And going back to Desie Burger, the fact that you're able at 22 years old to do all of these things, right? You guys don't even know he's 22. 22, like, brother, when he's 30, man, I told him there better be bees around your name.
Oh, that's what the plan is. We're working on the real estate portfolio.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there better be bees around your name, but like, inshallah, always inshallah, you know. And then whenever you have success, always say mashallah too.
Mashallah,
you know, we don't like evil eye over here, but
100%. Businesses and how to manage it and things like that. I feel like mismanagement is also another why people lose at business. I've been doing it since I was a kid, so I understand the ins and outs. I'm still learning. I'm not going to say I'm the greatest, but I've been doing it since I was 8 years old. I understand the little fine details of business, how to run it. One thing I realize is about your budget. You know, you just said like, oh, I see a lot of guys, they have a business and then they end up buying like a bunch of expensive stuff out of their budget, getting big loans and this and that, and trying to like, no, you gotta buy what's in your means. And don't overspend. Like, example, I wanted a Mercedes. I like Mercedes. Yeah, I bought a Mercedes. But I can go ahead and go buy a G-Wagon or buy a Rolls Royce if I wanted to, realistically. But that is not going to bring me money. That's a depreciating asset. You know, I know guys, they're running businesses. They're doing good businesses. But they're not investing. When you don't invest, that's when you fail. 10 years down the line, though that G-Wagon you bought is nothing. It's worth nothing. That G-Wagon depreciated, you lost money, right? And God forbid something happens. What happens? Like, you know, business can get slow, things can happen, recession can happen, you don't know. But what business has taught me, hey, you know what? Instead of me, why we use the money we make here and invest in real estate? Why? Because we know it's going to grow. We know that it's going to expand, you know? And also, don't overspend. I never overspend in the business. I understand you got to know your budget. You got to know what your finances. If you don't know your finances, you don't know your expenses, you will lose in business.
100%. 110%.
You gotta manage the money. That's the problem why I notice people, it's hard to make money, but it's even harder to keep money.
100%.
100%. That's what people don't get.
Yeah. Like, bro, people don't understand. It may take you like 3, 4, 5, whatever months it takes to make 50 bands. You could just spend 50 bands on a car. Boom, gone.
Boom, gone. Yeah.
Boom, gone. Like, it's so
like
easy.
120 gone.
I'm
Boom,
saying, like,
there.
boom, gone. Like, it's so easy to spend money. Like, that's, and I feel like that's why it's so good to be self-sufficient and not relying on other people. Like, Desie Burger, it's your thing. Like, you know, you'll never rely on a paycheck. You always rely. You don't ever have to say I'm an employee. Like,
no, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you run the tide, you run the ship. Let's go back to Desie Burger in a sense, like the branding of it. Who came up with the name? Was it you or was it your parents?
My parents. Because Desie Burger basically means South Asian style burger.
Yeah.
So we knew that, you know, a name gotta be short and snappy. You can't be over. Like, I see it in stores of like Rice Hut and this and chicken and that. I'm like, and cold drink house. I've seen places like that.
Cold drink.
I've seen that. I'm like, buddy, like, quite honestly, you don't know branding. Because when the funny thing is, I did marketing and they taught me short and snappy is everything.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta say, I'm going to Desie Burger. You're not gonna be like, yo, I'm going to Desie Burger and rice and something, or Desie Burger and samosa and chai or something. I'm like, why would I say that? No, I'm gonna say Desie Burger. Because Desie Burger is short and snappy, gets in people's minds, and it's good branding. That's what a name. I feel like that. A name should be short and snappy.
110%. All literally every single restaurant that we know in the city, they don't have more than 2 words.
They don't have more than 2 words.
No, like most of them have one. Like if you think a mall.
Yeah.
McDonald's. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
McDonald's
like,
has done great in branding.
Popeyes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like all these, like, it's just one word.
It's one word.
One word. Burger King's too, but you know, like
still, even they're short and snappy.
Short and snappy. Do you feel like growing up as a Desi person in Toronto, especially as a first generation Desi person, do you feel like you had like a certain chip on your shoulder because it does get to a point where you are a visible minority. You are visible.
I felt racism sometimes here and there,
not
but
necessarily racism. More so in the sense like people looked at you in a different way. Like they didn't like. I don't want to say they looked at you with like I guess prejudice, but like it was just more so in the sense that you're a first generation Canadian. You know your parents came
But
here.
the situation is, I'm proud of my culture. Funny story. I met a guy yesterday. He's opening a restaurant. He has a restaurant. He's like, he wants to change his name because he doesn't want people to know that it's a Desi store. I said,
that's crazy.
You should be proud of where you originate. I'm proud of me. I'm proud of who I am. I'm not going to change it for someone. People want to change themselves and be different, do certain things. This is who I am. I'm Sonu. I'm running Desie Burger. You want to know me? This is what I am. I'm like the most straight up guy because whatever I am, I just tell people.
Who you are.
I don't try to be two different personalities or be a fake personality. This is what I am. This is what it is. This is what you're gonna get.
Like, and also, do you guys ever do like there? So in the East End, like east, like by Kingston Road, there's a taste of Bangla or something like that.
We do that Taste of South Asia.
Yeah, I do Taste of
Festival of South Asia.
Yeah.
So that actually is the biggest South Asian festival.
Yeah.
But like, okay, the problem with this street now, all the guys that used to have shops here, they've left, and people don't get that. They're like, oh, the streets are, you know why? Like example, I'm the next generation, first generation here, but like second generation in the business. A lot of the store owners, their kids don't want to run the business because they don't want the headache. They rather be like, let me work a 9 to 5, let me go spend time with my family, and I take my vacation days off, and I go and do. We don't do vacation days. We don't do that. People don't get that. I see guys all the time on Instagram. They're watching they're doing a 9 to 5, and then they're going partying here, going there. I don't have that time. They don't want to live this life because it is difficult. You have to understand. People don't want to work. When you run a business, it's not a 9 to 5. It's a 24/7. It's gonna work harder, but the rewards are there. But you reap the rewards of the business. You know what I'm saying? So like, all these places, their kids, they shut down. They're like, their kids are like, you know what, mom, pop, we don't want to do this.
But that gives opportunities for people like you to come in and just
just win.
It's mine now.
It's mine. I'm like, you know what? I know this is my street. I always say that. It's been my street, and it always been. I love this street, and that's why I live on this street, and you know.
Do you feel like any time down in the future, like you'd I don't want to say like, because that's gonna sound kind of predatorial, and I don't want to make you sound predatorial, but do you think that you might venture into like acquiring a lot of the places, like a lot of the
100%,
shops in this area?
100%. We're already acquiring a lot of the real estate in this area. Like like any stores that I feel that are doing well, I'm like, you know what? Let me buy your place, because you know what? A lot of guys are running great businesses, but they don't realize that you have to buy the real estate where you're running the business. You think that leasing a business is the future? No, it's not. That's just for when you don't have the capital. But now, when I know a business is running, I own like the place next to me. Like here is a dry cleaner. I own the building as well. I know that this business is doing well. I'm getting rent from there. In the future, this is mine. It's always going to be mine. But the situation is, if I want to make something down the line, I have it, and the real estate's only increasing, and he's paying all the bills. The guys who are living there are paying all my bills, right? And maybe in the down line, if they want to sell the business or they want to do something, I'll take over.
110%. I know beforehand we talked about certain like trials and tribulations, even before off camera. I want to like get into like overcoming like doubts from like people that are around you, right?
Oh yeah.
And like just like not paying attention to the BS, right? Whether it's even from family or friends telling you certain things, this, that, and the fourth. Like, how are you able to like disassociate from like the people that are trying to like feed you a bunch of BS that are like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this. This is not the right way to do that. Oh, I did it like this. You should do it like me. How are you able to disassociate that? Because
that's a really good question. Honestly, even when my parents started the business, that's what people told them. Don't run it. You can't run it. Business is hard. When I finished school, I was doing a degree, marketing, whatever. I do the degree, I finish it. So it's a basic degree, right? I don't want to go expand to I could do an MBA or a master's. The guys I know are doing MBA, they're like, do an MBA, man. You're wasting your time at the shop, man. You're wasting. Some people, family, things like that. Some people I know, like, hey, man, go to school, man. Keep expanding yourself. Do a PhD. The store is not where the future is at. You know what I mean? If I made that mistake then, I would not be in the position that I am today. I would not be able to afford the Mercedes that I got. I always think that all the time. I'm like, well, I just bought a Mercedes. Why I bought it was a reason because I believed in myself. Why we're buying real estate? Why? Because we believed in ourselves and we continue to run the business. A business, you know what? It always wasn't this successful. That's what people see, the end result. They see, oh, hey, Sonu's running it, and you know what? Things are doing well. Finances are going well for Sonu. But at one time, finances were not that great. But people don't see that. They just see but the people, when you don't doing as well, they tell you all this stuff like, hey man, don't do the store, don't do this. I'll tell people. And I'll be like, no, this is my destiny. This is what I'm chosen to do. I will run it. And I knew it. I knew it in my heart that we're going to run this to the sky. And I didn't believe, because I was telling this earlier, a job will pay the bills, but a business will pay the lifestyle.
And to even add on that, like, a job is, I don't want to say it's slavery, because like still you're getting paid for your time, but like, when you're trading in your time for someone else's vision, where it doesn't like benefit you in the long run, sure, you have to. I'm not discounting like working a job. Like, if you don't have no money, work a job.
I get it. You have to start somewhere, right? You have to start somewhere, but
the end goal should always be to be self-sufficient.
Yeah, like my dad before. Now we own one of the most successful restaurants in Toronto, in the city. And guess what? At one time he used to work for someone, right? And he used to work at a place, and he used to be a normal employee, but he's working hard.
What does family mean to you?
It means everything. My mom, dad means everything to me.
What does your brother mean to you?
My brother means everything to me, because he's my right hand, I'm his right hand. We're there. Like, if someone messes with my brother, I'm the first guy to be like, I'm there. But if someone messes with me, my brother's the first guy. You know what I mean? He's a lawyer, and he's also doing the real estate business with us, and we're always like coming together to expand ourselves. We're always having discussions about how we're gonna expand ourselves. How we gonna, my brother always tells me, and it's a proven fact. Small minds always talk about people and events, but like the big minds and the smart minds, what they do is they talk about the future. They talk about success. They talk about the next plans, and they talk about business, things like that. Like what I'm trying to say is like, okay, I got guys that they'll sit at home and talk bad about the guy next to them or something. Like, I'm not gonna waste my energy on that. We're gonna discuss is how we gonna expand ourselves, how we gonna improve myself. What are the mistakes in myself? You know what I'm saying? I always try to look at myself like, what mistakes, Sonu, have you made in your life, or what mistakes you're making right now? No, I don't care about anyone else. What do we need to do to improve ourselves? Because you can't point fingers at someone else. You gotta make sure you do it. When I told you, when I was starting up, and now that we're a success and we're doing well, when I was a kid, people point fingers at me. You don't know what you're doing. Someone who doesn't know what he's doing. And now once the second the business becomes successful, I always know you wouldn't make it, man. I always knew it, man. I always knew you were that smart kid. I always knew it. But wait a minute, when I was a kid, you always used to tell me that, you know what I mean? Like other people. But my family, they always support me. Like my mom, my close family.
Immediate family, yeah.
Immediate family. Like my mom, dad, my brother, they always be like, bro, you're going to make it. You're going to win. We're going to do this and that. But people on the outside would say those things. But they just say those things, but they don't understand that. Like, I always remember that. I took that in my heart. Like, okay, one day I will remember you.
You got a chip on your shoulder.
Huh?
You got a chip on your shoulder.
So 100%. I remember one day when I get my Mercedes, one day I will remember you, and I'll be like, you tell me that, it's impossible to buy. Some people are like, oh, there's no way. People are like, yo, there's no way you can buy a car in this business. When I was a kid, like if you want the luxury cars and this and that. One guy told me that. I remember that. You gotta work a job. You should probably work for a company and try to be like a CFO or something, or like do some random thing. I'm like, oh, you want me to work for someone? No, I don't want to work for someone. I want to be the boss. I want to be the man. I always knew that I would be the man.
You knew you'd be the man before you were a man.
Exactly.
100%.
And now people are like,
110%.
wow, you've matured. I'm like, the business has matured me. People are like, you might be a kid, but you're, like, you could say I'm a kid, but the situation is, I don't act like a kid.
You're forced to grow up early.
I'm forced to grow up early. I become like, I know guys my age are messing around, they're fooling around. To this day, they're doing like the really bad stuff. They're going out and the partying and on the weekends, they're doing this and that. But me, no, I'm not doing that. I'm at the store, hustling, working.
And now when you're 30, those guys are going to be
Still doing the same thing.
Doing the same thing, back at the same job, wondering why life isn't going the way they want to.
Yeah, and then they blame others.
And then they look at you and go like, oh, he's so lucky.
No,
he's so lucky, you know. It's just everything was given.
That's what some guys are like. Oh, you got a golden spoon on you. I remember a guy told me that one day, right? He told me, he's like, yo, bro, you got everything handed to you.
I put in 28-hour days.
I'm like, buddy, I've been hustling my ass off. I've been working so hard as much as I can to do this. I understand when you say that to me. I'm like, bro, that's one thing I will be like, yo, bro, I put in the work, bro. I can say that. I understand my parents put the structure up for me, but I did put in the work. And you know, if someone tells me like, you got it easy, no, man, we had to work. That's one thing I realized. You can't be afraid from working. Now this generation, they all don't want to work. I see guys come work for me. They don't want to work. They try to run away from working. They try to, like, you know, waste time. This, I'm like, yo, if you're scared of working, you'll never be successful. And that's a straight truth. Guys, they waste time, they party, they do the wrong things. And then when things don't work out, they're like, it's my mom's fault. She wasn't a good mother. It was my father's fault.
You know how many times I heard that from people? It's like, you didn't raise me properly.
You didn't raise me. They did this and that. Like, buddy, you're a man.
Bro, like, you know, like, if you just look like 500 years, not even 500, like 200 years ago, like before the industrial boom. Bro, kids were dying. Kids weren't making it past like certain like ages. Like people didn't have the certain luxuries that we did. We have heat. Yo, heat wasn't a thing.
It's a mindset.
Yo, heat wasn't a thing 150 years ago. You know, like when you put so much emphasis on like the way you're brought up, sure, to a certain extent it will have an effect on you. But I feel like it's the mindset that you develop for yourself. People have trauma. I'm not gonna lie. People have trauma. If you're constantly beat as a kid, it's gonna do something to you.
But yo, the situation is, I understand what you're saying. But what I notice is your mind, everything. Sometimes, like, you know, like I'll be tired or certain things will happen. I'll worry for no reason. Back a couple of years ago, when I was like, oh man, this is gonna happen. I have to do this. I have to do this. I'm like, bro, I'm for beating up myself for no reason, man.
Why not just do it?
Just do it. Be confident.
Yeah.
Be calm. Now I'm like, so before I used to be like, sometimes when I was a kid I used to be shy or like not confident, and sometimes like, oh, this, but now I'm so confident. I'm confident as hell. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
I'm like, I'm ready to go. I'm not scared of nothing. And I know that my mind is like, yo, I understand. Sometimes I worry about certain things. Now I'm like, no. Sonu, you're gonna make it, and you're gonna do big things. And I always knew that. And I keep telling myself every day I wake up, I'm like, let's do it, man. Keep running it. Keep running. Don't worry what's going on. You gotta keep pushing. I understand you might be tired. I understand you might be broken some days. I understand you might be having a bad day. You know, like, I don't like to say things, but I see people's mistakes that they're making in their life. And I'm like, it breaks my heart because I say, yo, you have so much potential.
Yeah.
No, I'm not naming no one's name, but the situation I had friends like, oh, he's crying over a girl and he's not going to work. His mom sees me on the street, she's like, my son hasn't been to work for 2 months. They got fired. Why? Because over a woman. I said, buddy, you gotta move on as a man.
You have to.
That's life. People come and go.
Literally.
Right? It's no offense to no one. It's no offense to, it's just, that's life. You have to move on as a person.
Yeah.
You know, things happen. Things happen. That's why I'm more, like, I told this guy, this one guy, he's like, he's putting all this time into this relationship and this and that, but he's not putting time into work. In my opinion, in my culture, you should put in more time into work.
What are, I don't want to say just one, because like you seem like a very like wisdomful. Is that a right word?
Yeah, wisdomful guy. I would say.
Is that the right word? Wisdomful.
Yes.
Like, you seem like a wisdomful guy for someone that's 22, right? Who are some people outside of your parents that you looked up to? Like, do you ever like look at like a Marcus Aurelius, like your brother was talking about, or do you ever just like, do you have like any quotes that you see like certain individuals like that they have, and you just say, oh, I like that quote. I'm like, that's like my mantra. You ever have like something in the back of your mind that you tell yourself when you're in like times of doubt, or when you're in like times of like hardship? What's something that you like to tell
Oh,
yourself?
like I like a quote, like, you know, pressure makes diamonds. But not everyone can handle the pressure. When you put people in the pressure, you put them in the limelight, they fold. A lot of people. Why? Because they're not confident in themselves. Another, what I would say, like, what's it called? I would say, tough times don't last, but tough people do. Remember that. People, I tell people, you're going through a tough time. It's okay. I've seen it all. I've seen a lot, right? But I'm blessed to have a great life, and like Allah has given me everything, you know what I mean? MashaAllah, it's, I'm always grateful for what I have. But I've seen the other side of things, when I understand when, when you're not at the top, people look at you differently, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
People doubt you, but that's the thing, when people fall in the doubt and they quit. We don't do that.
Never quit.
I never quit in my life, bro. I never, like, even though I was in like MMA or I did karate, I'd be like, bro, I'm gonna fight till the end. I don't care.
You have to see it through.
Like, yo, you're gonna knock me out,
You have to.
and then I will do it back. I'm not gonna let you do that to me, because I'm at that point where I'm like, I will not stop. I will not stop working. I will not, like, it's just in my mind. It's ingrained in me.
The heart of a lion.
Exactly. I'm like, and at that point, like, bro, I work 18-hour shifts, and I'm still going, and I'm still keep going, and guys are tired. I'm like,
You're probably in bed thinking to yourself, all right, tomorrow this is what I got to do. This is the content I got to create, and you probably
that's something every day I think about. Whoa, I want to be more successful. When you talk about the Billy, I want to be at the Billy. That's what I want to, because I know I have the potential to be there.
110%.
I said, look, if you make smart investments, you can be there. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna waste money on one guy was like, you should buy a Rolls Royce Cullinan. I said, I could. But that's not smart. I'd rather buy a garage. I'd rather go invest in a garage. Because why? That Cullinan ain't going to give me that money back. But that garage is going to give me money back. That garage is going to give me income.
Delayed gratification. Like I'm not going to buy a Cullinan now. I'm going to drive a nice car, but I'm going to buy that car when I'm 40.
Exactly.
When I'm 35.
Exactly.
When it's actually when that money doesn't. I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, because money matters. But
money matters.
When at that point, like, I could do literally whatever I
bro,
want.
I'm grateful for what I got. I'm like, bro, I always wanted a Mercedes. I see guys pull up in a Mercedes. That was what my heart was set for. Like, from the beginning.
What thing? What kind of Mercedes is it?
A GLC.
GLC what?
The 300.
Ooh, the car that I'm looking at, it's some ways away from when I'm gonna buy it, but it's a GLE thing 800.
Ooh.
Do you know which one I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
800's crazy. Like it's like the GLE.
We got a couple cars. I got the BMW 6 Series. My brother got the Range Rover.
What car do you think is better, like a Mercedes or BMW?
Mercedes.
Mercedes, right?
Mercedes better.
Yeah.
No, I basically wanted to get a family car. I was gonna get a 7-seater actually, the GLE actually, but then I didn't want to get the 7-seater. Why? Because I was like, not needed. I don't have a family that big of a family. I don't have kids.
Do you like electric?
Nah.
Yeah, me neither, man.
I mean, bro, I'm in love with this car, to be honest, at this moment. Because, bro, there's ambient lights inside of it. It's leather seats. It's all fully loaded. You got a big screen.
Did you name your car?
No.
Why
it's just smooth. I love it. All black, tinted, bro. That's what, bro.
Once you get your baby, because that's your baby now. Once you gotta start treating it
bro,
like your
I'm
baby.
I'm the type of guy. I know what I like.
Yeah.
When I seen a car, I seen another car. Like, I know the one you're telling me, but it's up like this.
Very high.
I don't like that. See,
it's kind of like a hatchback, but like a.
It's kind of like an egg shape, kind of.
Kind of.
Kind of like going up. You know what? I seen that car. I drove that car. I didn't like it. The shape that I seen in my car, I just fell in love with it right away. I drove it.
The GLE, you said GLC 300, right?
Yeah, it's like a mid-size SUV.
So, does it have an AMG engine or?
Yeah. But see, the thing is, the situation, I'm so busy working that I don't even have time to drive it.
Are you not a car guy?
Not really.
So you don't like to race?
I'm more of a business guy, to be honest. That's one thing. Like, bro, like people are saying, like, yo, people are telling me, like, oh, bro, go ahead and buy this and this and that. I'm like, one guy's like, yo, buy a G-Wagon. I'm like, bro, I'm not a car fanatic, bro.
I understand.
Like, I mean, I could, but why?
But okay, I will say this. One of my friends, he bought a Rolex. Just because he was successful, like he's doing good things, right? And he's like, I'm not buying this Rolex because like I want to stunt on people. It's like, it's like an accomplishment. It's like a trophy. It's like I was able to accomplish this for 3 months, and after this thing, it's just to remind me of what I've done, right? And similarly to you, I'm pretty, like, is that like something that like that was in the back of your mind because you had a car before? Like what was the difference between the BMW that you were driving and the Mercedes?
Quite honestly, I tell you the truth, cars don't matter.
Nothing matters.
Nothing matters. You know what? You got to go to point A to point B. Why I got a Mercedes? Because I want a Mercedes. I want to be like, yo, I have a Benz. That's what my dream was.
It's kind of like a trophy.
Yo, it's like, yo, this is my Benz. I love that. But the situation is, you're going to go to point A to point B. I can easily go ahead and drive around a Toyota Corolla to do the same job. What's the difference? Nothing. But it's just satisfaction, personal satisfaction to buy that car. You know something?
It's a trophy. Yeah. So I'm introducing a new game.
Yes.
A new game that's going to be halfway there. I'm going to say five different words. All right. So the rules are as follows. I say one word. You quickly blurt out the first thing that comes to mind. No time to think.
Okay.
So if I say pizza, you say pepperoni. You know. If I say car, you say fast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
So I'm gonna say 5 words. Okay. Number 1. Business.
Booming.
Family.
Oriented.
Future.
Goals.
Love.
For work.
Forward.
Work. Because you know what? I only love work. That's all I do. People are like, you don't have a love of your life. I'm like, no, not yet.
I thought you were gonna say mom. I thought you were gonna say.
No,
mom.
I love my mom too. To be honest, I love my mom.
You
too.
put work over mom. I'm kidding.
Shit, no, I love her, but I love my mom.
All right, lastly, brotherhood.
Brotherhood. You said brotherhood or brother?
Brotherhood.
Family.
So the whole entire thing the reason why I created Halfway There, I want to connect an audience with people that are doing their thing, right? Successful people, right? And like I said earlier, I don't believe success is measured in a destination.
Yeah.
I believe success is measured in 1, your character, 2, actually like following through with what you say, and 3, taking steps to be better every single day, whether it's business or lifestyle. The reason why I created Halfway There is to bridge that gap between people that are aspiring to get into business, right? Not just be employees,
Not just
right?
employees.
Not just be employees.
Yeah. And try to inspire people to become a business person.
100%.
Because honestly, that's what you should be. Business is where it's at.
110%.
Right.
And I want to bridge that gap, and that's the meaning of Halfway There, because we're all halfway there on our journey, no matter what. Like, obviously you're doing your thing, right?
I'm doing my
Desie Burger is doing its thing, but you still aspire for more.
Yeah, of course.
You're halfway on your journey. You know? Social media.
Yes.
How are you able to grow Desie Burger through social media? And what was your vision for social media? Because like your social media page is actually like popping. You're doing hundreds of thousands of views. You're doing millions of views. You know, like, and going back to like you running this business, how are you? Because like you're technically the face of Desie Burger.
Yeah, I'm
like,
the face.
So how the hell are you able to like work 18 hours a day in the shop while still doing that, like, and come up with like fresh ideas?
It's a love of the game, to be honest. I love the game, and I just aspire to be like great. To be honest, I want to be great. I see the great people, and I'm like, one day I want to be there. But one thing I realized, the older generation don't believe in the social media. My parents, they get it. They tell me, yeah, it's good. They don't want to be in social media because they're busy doing other stuff. But like any other business owners I meet, or even guys I know, my own friends are my age, old new generation, they said, no, we don't want to do it. Mm-hmm. I tell them, bro, like actually my friend has a restaurant, I will tell you about that after. I was talking to him yesterday, funny story. I said, buddy, you're doing all these renovations in your store. You got to put social media up there. Mm-hmm. Why? Because I've gotten so many customers you won't believe from TikTok, Instagram. People are coming like, yo, I've seen your TikTok, bro. I want to try it. Guys came from America. Some family came from Houston. And I was like, they're like, yo, we seen your TikTok in Houston. Yep. One of our cousins lives here. We said, when we come here, we're going to meet you. I was like, whoa. Like all the way from Houston, someone just showed up. But I don't know what's going on with America, TikTok now, but that was like a year ago. But see that people coming here, people are coming from Mississauga, Brampton. They're like, yo, we seen your TikTok. People don't realize social media is a future.
No, we're living in it.
Yeah,
we're living in
it. But it's only going to advance now.
1,000,000%.
Like example, when I was a kid, Toronto Star used to be the hit. Like we used to have bins outside of our store. Like in front of our store, we used to have a bin in Toronto store. Everyone's like, oh, I'm reading the newspaper. Now the newspaper is not worth nothing. Social media is what's at. So that's what I say. As a business owner, since we're trying to inspire the next batch of business owners. We're like, social media is essential for success in your business. And I tell it time and time again, if you want to be successful in business, you see, even like you interviewed Fuegos. He's doing good.
Yeah, right.
He's doing great on Instagram as well. At TikTok, he's doing good. Why? That is essential to attract people. If you don't do those certain things, people tell me, oh, you should build your website more. Like I have a basic website. I don't care about the website. Well, the website's good. Social media is where it's at.
110%.
So any new business guys that coming in there, I recommend focus on social media. But see, with me, I made kind of like, well, you were talking about like me, I kind of made myself the brand kind of in our social media because I'm the guy there.
You are Desie Burger.
I am Desie Burger. Hey guys, I'm so new from Desie Burger, and you know what? This podcast is kind of dedicated to try to like teach the next generation or next batch of business owners. And what I'm trying to say is, guys, you guys got to focus on social media. You guys got to focus on working hard, and you got to go at it and make the decisions. And I'm telling you, you will win, but you gotta do it. And don't be confident in yourself. Believe in yourself, and the sky's the limit. I'm telling you that, and I've done it from experience. That you know what, people might have not believed me in the past, but you know what I mean? What they say, men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie, and results don't lie. The results, you gotta bring in results, and the results will come. And when they do come, you're gonna be so happy, and just do it. And you know what? If anyone ever feels any sort of they want to reach out to me, or they need some advice, or they want it, I'm there for you because I want to help you. And I want you to grow as a person. Because I had my journey, I've experienced a lot, and I'm still learning, you know what I mean? And I will still grow as a person. You know what I mean? But thank you so much, guys, for having me. I really thank you so much.
And Desie Burger is halal, it's good food, and there's a reason why they're popping. So make sure you guys come out, support.
You'll love it, brother. Just come on down, try it. I tell everyone, come on down.